Hello and welcome to Sports Opinion, the weekly sports talk show on Channel 18. That's Public Access TV. My name is Dirk Keller. Right here is Earl Murphy. You know him. We've got some very special guests here today. We've got the Gatens family from here in Iowa City. Mike, Julie, and their son Matt, Hawkeye senior basketball player. Welcome, everybody. Nice to have you here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Mike's been here before, but we thought we'd get the family, what's left of the family here in Iowa City.
Matt, yeah, have you ever had a nickname?
A nickname?
Yeah.
Like call me Gator.
Gator.
Yeah, I know Dolph uses it a lot on the radio. And
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Gator.
Before we get going on the show, I did want to dedicate this show today to a good friend of mine, Dr. Reese Jones. Reese was a neighbor and a friend of mine who died suddenly last week, and he was a big, diehard Hawkeye basketball fan. He and I took our 10-year-old sons to every home game, all 4 years of your career here at Iowa City. And Owen and his son and Paul, my son, were two of your biggest fans who stood there at the tunnel every game, before and after every game, and would not leave until they got a high five from you. And Reese was just a really good guy who went way back as far as being a Hawkeye fan. He grew up in Williamsburg. He was a dentist who did a lot of charity work for poor children and AIDS victims, and going to miss him in our neighborhood. I'm going to miss him at the Hawkeye basketball games next year, and just want to say hi to his family and let them know that we're thinking of them. So, having said that, Matt, you just got back from the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, well, I got back a couple weekends ago. It was a good experience. Some good competition, some good exposure with, I think, about every NBA team represented there with scouts and executives, and as well as agencies, and so it was fun. It was a good experience. It's that next step in the line of what we do after college. So it was a good first step, and it's good to have it over with and go on to the next one.
Oh, I bet it's good. Yeah. Now, did your mom and dad go with you?
Yeah, my dad came down there with me to help with. We had a couple meetings with the agencies down there, and it was great to have him there, as well as Coach McCaffrey came down for 2 of the days as well.
And that's pretty unusual when the head coach joins his now former player at the NBA tryout camp.
Yeah, I think it just shows what kind of guy Coach is. I didn't see a ton of other coaches there. I think Tubby was there from Minnesota, but his player actually pulled out of the tournament.
Really?
And I was told maybe Shaka Smart was there, but I really didn't see any other. I wasn't paying a ton of attention to the crowd, but for him to take time out of his busy schedule, we all know he's busy, and especially this time of year with recruiting and working out the guys we still have here. It meant a lot to have him down there to just support me, as well as go through the meetings with the agencies and be a part of the whole deal. It means a lot.
What's the format of the tournament? Do you play a single game every day?
Yeah, it was one game every day with the same team. We had one practice, and then it was right in the games. So it was one game for 3 days straight.
Who chooses the teams or the rosters for the teams?
I really not even sure. Probably some board they have there. It's been going on for years. I'm sure they kind of get all the names together, and then by position they pick different teams. And we went 1 and 2. Lost a game in overtime. We should have won. Kind of gave it away at the end. Then we came back, and the next game we're down like 10 with a couple minutes to go, and we won.
Who had the win?
Who hit the win? That's just what I was going to ask.
I did. It was pretty fun.
All right.
And, celebrate with guys you barely know, and
Yeah.
it's some you do know from watching on TV or just through the years. But it was cool to to hit the game winner and help the team out in that way, and step up, and hopefully that look good to the scouts as well.
Who were some of the scouts? Any names that we might recognize? Former NBA players, former Big Ten players? Mike, you remember any of them?
I didn't go down there.
Yeah.
When Matt was in high school, I took his AAU team there, because they had a AAU tournament about 10 miles away.
Oh, really?
And Larry Bird was there, and Ronnie Lester was there back then. But
Vlade
Divac was there. Jerry West.
They might have been. I just remember.
They might have been there. I sat on the other end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you? seeing your son out there with the
It
best
was-
of the best?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun sitting there with Fran and listening to him, and
I bet it was.
Yeah.
it was really fun listening to Fran.
What a unique perspective.
Yeah, Fran's as we all know, a big fan of Matt's, and he really is. It's neat how, but he's made Matt a lot better player, I thought. But it was fun sitting there with Matt, and then Fran knows everybody. It's amazing. I mean, he knows everybody, and everybody knows him. So it was good for him to be down there.
Good.
Really good.
It was good that Iowa hired him.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
very good.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
What a
he'll get it
difference
done.
maker.
Yes, he is a difference maker, right?
Yeah,
What he did with this team this year is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
it really is. And I think the fan base certainly reacted to that. I still can't get over the NIT, not the game,
But the finish.
the fans.
Yeah, fans.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing.
we've been around for NIT games, all of us here, and it was hard for them to sell 2,000, 3,000 tickets. But something has clicked with the fans. They
But it was
bought into it.
It was a different fan base.
Yes, it was.
yeah.
It was different fan bases.
The ones that really wanted to be there.
There's a lot of kids there.
Exactly, Julie. They wanted to be
And
there.
from start to finish, they were
And they were-
electric.
I still remember walking in there that night just going, whoa,
Yes.
there's something going on here
I mean,
tonight.
I've heard stats that it was the biggest crowd the whole tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Besides,
Yes.
maybe it might have been bigger than Madison Square.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And then I heard that night it was bigger than all the other games combined.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yes.
just that many tickets in, a day and a half after just being announced. And Tuesday night, it was pretty cool.
There was a lot
It
of
was
families,
yes.
too. It was really.
Kids
families.
everywhere. And that, that's who we lost, I think, as a fan base, was a generation of kids who, for a number of reasons. I think part of it was the Big Ten Network, when all of a sudden, all of our games weren't on TV every night at the same time you expect them to be. And we lost a generation of fans for a while. But boy, was I reaffirmed
Yeah.
for that NIT
I mean,
game.
I've heard a number of people come up and say, that's the first game I've been to in a while, and I want to say, why haven't you been?
Yeah,
But
that's what I would say.
that's cool. It's cool they made it back, and hopefully, and I've heard other people say, coming up to them, that we're going to buy tickets now. We're back,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've seen it online. They're back.
So we'll see. Yeah, I hope so.
That was pretty exciting, and the way it was done with less than 48 hours
Yeah.
was so impressive. And then there was the game, and that was something else.
We definitely fed off. I mean, you had alley-oop dunks and everything. The crowd was going nuts. It was loud. And one of the guys from Dayton was even at Portsmouth on my team.
Really?
He talked about how, for one, they expected to beat us, and then two, he couldn't believe the environment, and he was impressed by it. I'm sure it had an effect on their team.
Well, I'm going to tell the viewers that was a very good Dayton team.
Yeah.
They were
I
impressive.
think they were probably a win away from being in the tournament. They just missed it.
Yeah. And they come into Iowa City, and they couldn't host, if you remember, because Dayton was hosting a first round of is it the NCAA men's tournament?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Playing game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to come to Iowa City, and the rest, as they say, is history. I walked out of that game that night with so much adrenaline. I couldn't get to sleep that night. I was just so jazzed. And it was spring break. I mean, there was nobody in town. And I just couldn't wait for the next game. And you guys nearly pulled it off out there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a very tough environment in Oregon.
Yeah.
You went to that game, right?
The sellout crowd was.
What
That
was
a sellout crowd.
Was it really?
No, it's
Well, it was pretty close.
It was a pretty good crowd, though, yeah.
pretty
It was a good
crowded.
But they've got a
Yeah.
much smaller arena,
a
right?
little smaller than ours.
Yeah.
Brand new, though.
But it was definitely a home court event.
Marble had a
Yeah.
good, he had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Marble
Yeah,
shot real well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Not much defense in that game.
not much at all.
No, scoring.
Especially the second half.
No.
Now, Oregon went on to New York City, didn't they?
No.
They
No,
got beat by
Washington
Yeah,
went on to New York
Washington
City.
did.
Okay,
Minnesota.
that's right.
Yeah.
And did Minnesota win the whole? They got like a
lost the
second.
finals.
Okay, there we
Who
go.
won?
Good question. Minnesota
Is it
played.
Stanford?
Stanford, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, good
that's
job.
right.
Yeah, Stanford.
That's right.
Stanford.
It was Big Ten versus Pac-10. Not too bad.
I wonder if Bowlesby was there.
He had to be, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
As the AD. Yeah. So Portsmouth is behind you. What's next?
Oh, well, the next thing is hopefully get some workouts with teams. That's kind of what comes after. Was what I've been told is hopefully get 4 or 5 different workouts with different teams, and after that is the draft in late June. And I've been told there's a slim chance I could go in the second round, and if not, you kind of pick which summer league team to play on with which team, and then hopefully after that make a camp.
Is the Summer League part of the NBA Development League?
I don't believe so. I believe
No.
it's more for their draft picks plus young guys on their team they already had,
I see.
or guys they have the rights to who are overseas, different guys like that. And I think it's in Vegas, and there might be one in Orlando. I think there's 2.
And do you have an agent yet?
Still working on that.
Mike?
No,
I'm going to give it over to somebody here. real quick.
B.J. Armstrong's an agent.
yeah. We've met with 3. Going to meet with one more on Wednesday, and hopefully have it all figured out.
What's that like, meeting with an agent? What do they talk about?
That they're the best?
Yeah, they all can. They've all been good. I don't really enjoy the process just because it's similar like recruiting, and you do
Yeah.
the same thing over and over, and I'd rather just get it over with. But it's been interesting to hear their take on things. Their plan for me, what they would do from now until the draft, what they would see me doing if I made the team here or made a team overseas. Just different circumstances, and I think the main thing is just being comfortable with them. Trusting them and know that they're looking out for you.
When is the draft?
Late June, I think it's the
Late June?
27th or
28th.
Yeah.
28th. Okay. Wow. And before all that, you're going to graduate with a marketing degree here pretty soon.
Yeah, 2 weeks from this weekend. So yeah, it's coming up. It's amazing how fast it goes. And so finishing up classes, got this week and then finals week, and we'll be done.
Wow. Now, I don't know if you remember, but about a year ago, I was in one of your marketing classes as a judge for the TV campaign for downtown Iowa City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys in there. You didn't make the final
We
cut.
didn't make it. No.
But I will say there were
that.
some incredibly bright students who came up with some wonderful ideas that,
It's been fun going to that school over there. I mean, that building's great, and the resources and getting to know students and teachers. It's been fun.
what do you like about marketing?
I think that you can apply it to so many different things in the real world going forward, whether it's coaching or sales, is anything. You can really use the skills that they've taught us in a lot of different ways, and I think just the material's fun to learn. Whether it's advertising or different things in a company, it's been fun. And
Good.
I didn't really know what I was going to do going into it, but had a good marketing intro teacher, and kind of caught onto it.
That's great. That's great. I wish I'd have studied marketing when I was in school, because that's what my career turned into. But you're right, it applies to everything in life, and it'll take you a lot of places, especially a degree from the University of Iowa. That's got to make Mom and Dad really proud. So this is
Number 3.
the 5th member of the family, including you two, with degrees from Iowa. Your brother Steve, did he?
No, he
Have
was
an Iowa
Murray
degree?
State down
Okay.
in Kentucky.
But I have 4 siblings, and all 5 of us went to the University.
Is that
of Iowa.
right?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
So-
Well,
2 more cheerleaders.
Yeah, and 3 of us were cheerleaders.
is that
And not
right?
just one. And they always say, why don't you tell about us? So there you go. Now the world knows.
Well, the Big Ten Network did a pretty good job
They
of
said
telling
it enough. They
or
said it
telling us
plenty.
about you.
Yes, they said it plenty.
You know, that's one thing I'm going to miss next year. Besides seeing Matt play,
Not seeing my mug.
is seeing these guys and hearing
Now-
what they have to say.
Now I said I can jump up and down and go crazy and nobody will care. And I won't have to
What's
think.
Mike do?
Mike?
No,
Well, let's ask Mike what he does.
What do I do? When?
What do you do all day?
no, I'm
No,
not.
no, you mean at the
I don't care
games.
about that.
What do you do during games?
During the
He
game.
sits.
I know what he
Watch.
does.
He
What?
sits.
Sit and watch.
Yeah, I move far away because then people don't know where I am, and then I can jump up and go wild. 'Cause that's why it's fun.
Matt was an easy one to be a parent of because he's, he knew the game. He knows the game so well, and he's real comfortable on the court, and he was real consistent.
Yes.
And he was really easy. I never got nervous watching the games or watching Matt because somebody said earlier, has the game changed very much, and the game's changed a little bit, but he forgot more basketball than I knew when he was like in 7th or 8th grade. He really, because guard, especially he was a guard too, and guards are
A
they know the
growing
game.
guard in those days.
A what?
A growing guard.
Yeah, a growing guard. Yeah.
Well,
He kept growing and growing.
I've seen Mike at the games. He sits right across from me, and he's very stoic.
Yes, he is.
I don't know that I could sit so quietly and watch my son play on a big stage like that
Why
as
don't
you did.
tell him who you sat with?
What do you mean who I sit with? My son?
No, the people that you become well acquainted with. Johnson's.
Oh, well, for years I sat in the corner by the tunnel, and right next to a couple about my age, give or take. And we must have talked for 5, 6 years, and I just knew them as Dave and Julie. And then one day, I don't know, we were talking about the recent Masters tournament, and he said, well, that's my son. Zach Johnson's mom and dad
Oh,
had
my
sat next to me
gosh.
for
Wow.
years.
Isn't that something?
And they were just the nicest people.
Yes. They're great.
They were great to my
They're a great
son,
family.
talking to him when he was a little squirt, and yeah,
I think that's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite special.
But then I got moved this year across court from your dad's seats, and so I don't know where Dr. Johnson went, but
I know Zach's a big fan. So
oh yeah,
he follows.
he's huge.
Did you ever
fan.
play golf with him?
I've never played golf with him. No, I'd love to someday.
Yeah.
But,
Have you had a chance to play any golf this season?
we've played a few times.
Yeah. How's your game,
Sure. Oh, tell him outstanding.
Mike? How's his game?
Rusty.
Is it? All right. I like honesty. All right.
It doesn't take long. He'll get it going. It's a little rusty right
The
now.
short game's not
Yeah.
too good.
Well, plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Well, I'm not sure if many viewers know, but I assume many do, but Matt grew up here in Iowa City, went to City High, and wowed us at City High. His senior year, he won the state tournament, as did the girls. Very rare thing to accomplish, boys and girls winning the state tournament. That was a heck of a year. You had a heck of a team. A.J. Derby. The year before that, Zach Derby. No, Zach was
Zach's
on that
on.
team. Yeah, he's your class. That's right.
John Licklider
And John Licklider. How about
yeah.
that?
and
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Moore.
What's happened to him?
Malcolm Moore.
Look lighter.
Little Lick.
He went over to Indianapolis to a smaller school, and I don't think he played
Okay.
over there, but he's a senior like Matt,
Yeah.
probably,
Okay.
Yeah.
graduating.
Yeah.
Might have gotten married.
He was engaged.
did, yeah.
I think he got
Did
married.
he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a nice young man.
Yes.
Very valuable
fun
to
getting to know
that
him.
team you're talking about.
Right, without him.
Yes.
He was.
Oh, imagine if they didn't have him that year.
That would have
Absolutely,
been. It would have been tougher.
It was a
a
fun
lot
year. It
tougher.
was
It's really fun.
fun year, fun team. Fun coaches.
Your coach, Woodley, I'm drawing a blank on his first name.
Andy.
Andy Woodley. Have you stayed in touch with him?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Quite a bit,
Very
yeah.
good friend.
Where is he?
He's in Des Moines now.
And coaching where?
He actually just took the assistant Grandview job recently.
Really?
Yeah.
And he has some other business ventures too.
Yeah.
He's done well.
Okay.
He gave it a shot. He went over to Creighton after I graduated. That next year he was with Creighton. I don't know exactly what, someone on their staff. But I don't think he really liked it too much. Went back to Des Moines and doing that now.
Well, that was a heck of a year in every respect.
And the girls were just wonderful.
They were phenomenal, too.
Virginia Johnson, I think.
Well, and Kelly
And Kelly
Cry.
Cry.
Right, yeah.
Kelly Cry from City High. I love that. I love watching her play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to, I really enjoyed going to the City High games where it was boys and girls both.
I like that, Murph.
It didn't happen enough.
Trying to turn this thing off. I don't know how to turn it off.
Julie?
I bet Joe
Throw
can
it out,
help.
throw it out the door.
I was at the Dubuque Wahlert game your senior year, sitting
That's
right
the
behind
only
your
one we
bench.
lost.
Yeah.
That was,
And then, I don't know when it was, maybe the next Monday, we sat with your dad at the Monday Morning Quarterback Club, and I think one of the referees was at that game, or at that lunch.
He's in our club.
Yeah. That had to be
That was not a
the
good
worst refereed high school basketball game I have ever
wasn't
seen.
very
You don't want to bring that one up to Andy, would you?
Yeah.
No, I
The
don't
thing about
blame
that
him.
game, though, there were some calls the young man made, but the thing about that game is Waller got the opportunities in that game, and they took advantage of the opportunities and scored. Probably 4 or 5 of the times they got the ball back.
They did.
That's
They really
stupid,
should.
That's stupid, Eric, man.
Yeah.
Eric May was on that
Oh,
team. He was
Yeah,
a junior
yeah,
on the
Eric
Waller
was a
team.
junior, yeah.
I didn't think he stood out that game.
Oh, I think he did.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
he
yes,
will.
he
Did he?
did.
Oh, yeah,
Looking
he
back.
did.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, he played well.
I'm probably prejudiced, but you guys had a very sizable lead. I didn't think the game was in doubt, and then all of a sudden, whistle after whistle after whistle, and
That's kind of how I felt at Oregon.
we felt the same way.
Yeah.
That was.
Sometimes you just can't, you know.
That might have been the best thing that happened to Matt's high school team.
You think?
Could
Losses
have been that we
sometimes.
lost, yeah.
Yeah, they really.
I remember going to church the next day and just shaking our heads. Just people were still talking about it. Just
I think
couldn't
it
believe
did
it.
spurred you on.
It might have, yeah.
I'm glad it worked out that way. You never know. But that was still a heck of a team.
They won a title that year, and we so it worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won
did.
the title,
And
too.
Eric, he needed a
3A.
shot at the end
He
to
hit
win
that big shot.
A
Just-
long shot.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
couple
Like
seconds
half-court
left.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they had a nice call coming out of timeout to set that up for him.
Yeah.
That was something special.
You were waiting in the tunnel.
Yeah,
in
it
that
was.
game, weren't you?
We were certain it was
sure.
going overtime because we were waiting. I think they were playing Harlan, maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Harlan hit a shot to tie it with like maybe 1-2 seconds left. We went back in the locker room thinking it was over. We'd have 5-10 more minutes, and the crowd was right above us, and we could hear
You
it.
heard it.
Like something must have happened. So it was time to go. Like we were kind of resting, ready to go, and we're kind of resting again. So it was interesting.
Now, was that game in Old Vets?
No.
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 We were already open with the new place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 3A game preceded the 4A
Yeah.
championship game.
What's it like to win a state championship? So few of us ever get to experience that.
Yeah, that's something you always be able to say you were. That's what I think John Derby told me that right after was, you'll always be remembered as a state champion,
Yeah.
and no one can take that away. It's pretty cool, especially that special group of guys we had. We had a great chemistry and really enjoyed each other's company, and it was fun. It's a feeling and a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, and you could feel that as a fan. You could see it. You could feel it. You guys all got along. It seemed very well.
And I've told people, maybe the most nervous I've ever been shooting a free throw was, the game was over. We were up maybe 15. And I was on the line with like 30 seconds to go, and they're wheeling the trophy out behind the hoop. And I don't know, for some reason, I made it, but I don't know why. Maybe it was just because I knew it was my last free throw at high school or something. And I saw the trophy, and I just was like kind of losing it. And luckily it went in, so it was good.
But I don't think luck has anything to do with his kind of shooting abilities. Believe you're the all-time percentage free throw shooter for the University of Iowa. One of your dad's friends and former teammates, Glenn Vidnovic, he was right up there
Yeah.
with free throw shooting percentage.
Matt beat him. How you like that, Stick?
I hope Stick's watching.
I think Kaluska still has the percentage. He's a couple.
Oscar, Luke, I don't know.
Luke, I'm sorry, Luke Record. Luke Record's.
For the career?
Yeah, for career. Matt's
He didn't play 4 years.
That's right.
Matt's single season of like 91%. And then, Luke didn't shoot as many free throws as Matt, but he beat him by a couple hundreds of, like, percentage points or something.
He made a shot when we played the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah?
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
and I were there.
Oh,
Matt
were
was
you
like-
there?
Like a sixth grader.
That was pretty.
That's-
That was quite a shot.
During this agent thing, I've talked to some friends of mine, and one being Ronnie Lester, three or four times. Ronnie's been a big help. And I told him, I said, Ronnie, I almost had to break Matt's arm. And he goes, what are you talking about, Gator? I said, well, he got within about 30 points of your career scoring total, and I wasn't going to let him beat you. So Matt's right behind Ronnie. It's a good place for him, right behind Ronnie.
Ronnie was my hero when I was in college here. And
What a nice young man.
they don't come any better than that. And without trying to embarrass you, Matt, you've represented not just the university, not just City High, but the community of Iowa City so well, just like Ronnie did when he was here. We're just so proud to have been able to watch you for 4 years, so grateful that you committed to Iowa when you could have gone anywhere else, and yet you stayed true to your Hawkeye loyalty, and here we are 4 years later. I still remember the day that you verbally committed. It was just before a home Hawkeye game, and I'd just seen it on the news, and then ran over to Carver Hawkeye for the game, and I ran into you and your dad as I was walking in, and I got a chance to congratulate you, and I thought, this is going to be a fun ride. And it really has been. No matter how many ups and downs, Julie, you've been through it all.
It really has been. And I say that the whole ending was phenomenal, and I don't think you appreciate it as much if it had all been that way. So it just made it that much sweeter. It was good.
That's really nice to hear
And
you
the
say.
basketball banquet was just tremendous.
It was tremendous.
It was one of the best
Yeah, it was fantastic.
banquets I've ever been to.
Fran made every young man leave that room feeling good about himself. Fran does a wonderful job with that. He's a brilliant guy, but to be able to speak so brilliantly about each guy, I thought it was neat.
From what I'm told, Fran made everybody in attendance feel pretty good
Yeah.
about being there and about being a Hawkeye fan, with more good things to
Oh,
come.
Yeah.
I used to go to those banquets all the time, and then I think they got discontinued. I think, was it Coach Alford stopped doing it?
No, I think
No,
Coach
he had 'em.
Licklider.
It's like that did for years.
They limited the numbers
The
or
Coach
something.
Licklider,
Yeah,
I don't
they
think we had
limited
one
the
the
numbers.
first year, and the next year it was just the kids.
Like, if you want to go to the football banquet, you just can't go to the football banquet.
Right.
I mean, they've got a number, which is, they got to cut it off someplace.
And there are a lot of more kids for
Yeah.
football, a lot more family.
But this is great to see it grow and have a lot more fans there.
It was a very nice banquet, very nice.
Well, I think you came away from that, I don't think, I know you came away from that banquet with a very special award, the Chris Street Award, something they don't give every year, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they
They
don't.
do.
They do give it every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're too young to remember Chris Street, which just blows my
But
mind.
we do, and our girls do, because
Yeah.
they were a little bit older, and
He'd come out to the house.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very special.
Yeah, Matt kind of remembers us talking about,
Yeah.
and the girls talking about Chris, but he was like 3, 4 years old when Chris would come out, and Paul Lusk would come out with
Oh, I
him.
remember him.
Yeah, we'd have him out for dinner or something.
So I met him, I just don't remember.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, he was a real special young man, as you know,
Yeah.
and don't know if there's ever been a greater tragedy. It's something that I know folks like your parents and I and Earl will never forget where we were when it happened. And
He had great friends in Tom Davis and John Street.
Yes. In fact, there's an inscription on the award is a little box size, a little square, not little, but about that size. And Matt weighed it, it weighs 20 pounds.
When they gave it to me, he just almost dropped it. He was so happy.
wow.
Yeah,
But there's
Mike Street gave it to me, and I thought, I wasn't really ready for it. I thought I was going to drop it.
Was Mike's wife there also?
Yes,
Good.
Patty.
It's
Very special.
And how about Chris's sisters? Were they in it?
They were not.
No.
They come to the Letterman golf thing a lot. Yeah. But there's an inscription from Coach Davis describing
that's-
Chris's personality and what Chris meant to everybody on the award. It's neat.
Well, I know for 4 years, you walked right past the plaque in the tunnel next to the locker room with his picture and the slogan that Tom Davis had that he'd given after Chris had died. And I just wondered, does that inspire the players? Do they ask who he was? Do they want to know more?
It did mean knowing about him, being a local guy. I think they should talk about more about what Chris represented and how much he meant to this university. But some guys probably don't know a lot about it, which is good to have that plaque there. You can stop by and read it. And I think they need to get that back up there since the renovations. I don't know if it has. But, yeah, just winning that award. I know I joined a special group of guys. It means a lot, and it's an honor. It's Chris always did things the right way, and something I always tried to do. And he's definitely one of my role models. Even though I never really got to see him play or follow him, I knew about what he represented, knew what he was all about.
Well, take it from us. You had a good role model, and you followed in those footsteps, just as we would hope you would. One of the things that Chris was famous for was his defense. And you really picked up your defense this year. You had to take on new responsibilities. And I don't know if the viewers realize that those defensive responsibilities usually entailed ball hawking the other team's best scorer. And you did that, and on top of that, led the Hawkeye team in scoring. That's not easy to do, to say the least.
No. It was fun. It was, and Coach kind of put it on me last year that I needed to step my defense up to really help out the team, and I think I took it more serious and took it, really concentrate on that a little bit more. Most guys just want to play offense and kind of get by on defense, but I think I really took it to the next level, and
you made a difference.
Yeah, took it personally.
Who was the toughest to guard this year?
Oh, team probably Ohio State, 'cause they have so many weapons, and you can't just say, Matt, go stop Buford, because we have to worry about 3 other NBA guys.
Yeah.
So it's teams like that, we're tough.
Yeah.
Tough to guard.
What about Wisconsin? You seem to have an answer for them both times you played.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's fun to sweep them.
Twice.
Twice, yeah, beat them twice.
I got to tell you, the look on Bo Ryan's face up there, and that cold day in January, that was priceless.
It was wonderful. We were there.
Wasn't it?
It was amazing, because I've been there when it's been so horrible. Because the Wisconsin fans are really, really loud, but they were so quiet that day.
Isn't that a
It was
beautiful
great.
sound?
It was so nice.
Up in
the Kohl Center,
Madison.
yeah, it
That
was
That
amazing.
final buzzer went off. It was
Yeah.
about just our families and us in the court celebrating. It was pretty.
I still remember the
the rest of
If you
picture.
love the home
Quiet.
crowd going nuts at your home, it's almost as good listening to how quiet the
Yes.
other
Yeah.
team
Same
can
thing
be.
happened in Minnesota. It was
Yeah.
amazing, yeah. That's
Two of our biggest rivals. You go on the road your senior year, and you whoop them.
Yeah.
Speaking for all Hawkeye fans, thank you for that.
Yeah, our coach had something to do with it, too.
And thanks for
Yes.
beating Illinois in the first round of the Big Ten
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
great.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, was that beautiful.
It was great.
Oh, man.
Matt, have you lost some weight?
I did, a year and a half ago, but I think I've kind of stayed about right there, right where I need to be. Where Coach wanted me, around 210, and
That's what you are, 210?
maintain that, and I think it's really helped me out.
I want to talk about that Wisconsin game at home for a little bit. The last few years, we've had a problem with visiting fans coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah.
And I've said it on this show a number of times, I don't think anything angers me more than to sit with a bunch of happy visiting fans from Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois with their whatever they call that group of knuckleheads.
Orange Crush.
Yeah.
That was the worst. They came in Iowa gear, and I thought, oh my gosh, we have a really good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they pulled off
Yeah.
their Iowa gear. That was
Guess who they were sitting next to?
horrible.
Yeah, right behind you.
I was so
It
angry.
made me sick.
And Mr. Elliott was right there.
It's not good.
I think those days are over. But the Wisconsin game at home this year, again, much like the NIT game, when I walked in that night, and I go to every home game, there was a buzz in the air, unlike anything to that point.
That was Matt Gatens' bobblehead night.
Yeah.
There was that.
Yeah.
But you know what? That was a difference maker because
Yeah.
we got there, my boys got to get every bobblehead. So we got there early like we always do when there's a bobblehead. And yet there was a crowd and just a buzz unlike any other
There was.
bobblehead night.
Yeah.
And talk to your dad before the game and you could just feel it. There was something going on.
Yeah, we're coming off the Indiana games, which is
Yep.
obviously a good win. And
Yeah.
I think the team, I think Coach Barak kind of alluded to it in our pregame about how rare an opportunity it is to have 2 ranked teams play in your home court in 1 week. And,
And to beat them,
a lot of players go through college basketball and don't get to play against ranked teams very often. But
let alone beat them.
yeah,
Yeah.
in 1 week. So I think we really bought in and really locked in for that game. And
I remember watching you warm up before the game because we were there early, and my boy likes to go down courtside and watch you guys up close. And I just wonder, I saw you out there talking to Utah before the game. Watched you guys, in fact, I watched you warm up at some point by yourself at the visitor's end. Was there anything special in that game for you beforehand? Did you sense anything going in, or was it just another Big Ten game against a ranked team?
I think it was just another,
Okay.
for the most part. Yeah, I don't remember anything in particular.
The reason I ask is because you had, I think, your single greatest game as a Hawkeye.
Yeah.
How'd you do your bobblehead? But was that before the game?
That was in
What did he do?
during shoot around.
Like when you're doing the, I don't know, somewhere it was in the video.
Yeah, during the shoot around, the ESPN crew had me.
The Big Ten had him take his
With the
bobblehead and.
Oh, really?
And they were talking about his
And
game,
bobble
I
it?
think the game the week before, or the game before. So
I mean,
it's
it
kind of
was
cute,
just-
so maybe that loosened him up.
I don't think so. But I think I was just
I'm just being a mom. It was cute
it
though.
was just a zone.
It was fun.
For those 4 games. It was everything I just wanted to get open and shoot it because I knew it was going in.
Wisconsin seemed bound and determined to make up for the home loss earlier that season, and they just were not going to let you have at it, have free will. They did everything they could to put a roadblock in front of you, and it just didn't matter.
No.
We had some Wisconsin, oops, sorry, Joe. We had some Wisconsin fans sitting to our right, and there was a point in the game where you and the Hawkeyes had a big lead, and they started coming back, and it got close. And these Wisconsin fans were going nuts. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And, my son and I, we didn't like that too much. All we had to do was just wait for you to get the ball, and boom, 3-pointer, and the whole crowd would just turn and look at him. Nobody said anything, we just turn and look. Oh, yeah. And again, like so many other games your senior year, we walked out of Carver Hawkeye that night feeling so proud of you and so happy with the accomplishments that you and your teammates
You made how many in a row?
12.
12.
That's all.
I tell people that the 13th felt about the best out of any of them that I missed. So
Oh, did you?
Was that the one in front of the bench where you got knocked down?
No, that one went in.
No, that one, yeah.
that one, this was on the other
That
side.
one.
Okay.
That one,
That's right.
It was on a fast
And it should
break.
have been a foul.
Yes.
You know, it's funny, after that game, Stick sits right behind us, about 4 rows. Stick is a real student of the game.
Yeah.
He loves Matt. He held Matt as a baby,
Yeah.
and good family friend. But he really likes how Matt plays the game, and he's short on, compliments because he sees it at such a high level.
Yeah.
But again, he likes how Matt plays. And after that game, he just walked down, and I'm just sitting there, and he didn't say a word. He just goes like this. Just patted me on the back, and he turned around. It was like,
Words couldn't describe that
Yeah.
night.
It was beautiful.
it really was.
The
Was that
fans
the
on the court,
33
it was
points
cool.
or the 30 points?
That was 33.
33.
It was cool having the fans on the court afterwards. It was pretty special.
And we can't thank the fans enough he's gotten so much mail.
Is
So
that
many
right?
really kind notes from people. It's just, we wish we could thank everybody, but
Here's an opportunity.
yeah, thank you, everybody,
Yeah.
for all your lovely words and for supporting, and I'll cry. Man, no, I'll cry.
It's all right. It's all right.
But it's been great, and we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, well, it has been great, and it's games like the NIT game, and the Wisconsin game, and the Indiana game, and the big road victories at the beginning of the season that said, hey, Big Ten, we're for real, don't forget us. And I don't think I'm going too far by saying that your senior year and what you and your teammates accomplished have turned this program around. As fans, as players, we all shared in a really rough ride your freshman and sophomore year. No two ways around it. And you overcame it. And that may have been your single greatest accomplishment as a Hawkeye, to overcome what had gone on before you. And here we are today after your senior year and talking about turning around the program. I predict there's going to be a day not too soon, or not too far away, Earl, when Hawkeye fans are going to look back at the players that have come in after Matt and what Coach Fran has accomplished with his staff. He's got a wonderful coaching staff. A little prejudice with Kirk Spurra.
Yeah.
He's my old roommate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we're going to look back and say, this is the guy that started the turnaround, and we knew him when. It's just been such a fun ride.
The kid from Kennedy, what's his name? The
From
basketball
Kennedy?
player.
Is he playing right
Oh,
now?
is that Utah?
No, Kennedy.
Not Kennedy.
What?
Oh, I mean
Josh Oglesby?
Josh
Yeah.
Oglesby.
Wash.
Wash,
Yeah.
C.R. Wash.
Yeah, he's a Wash grad.
Bullshit, yeah, that's right. But his mother, I saw her. She came up to talk to you, and
At
I
the
was saying,
banquet? Yeah.
and she passed me, and she really coming, and she wanted to talk to you. What did she say to you?
I think she just thanked me for being
she's
helping out Josh so much and
Is that all? She didn't say anything about punking.
about the. We're not gonna talk about that.
Are you letting cats out of the bag?
No.
No, she had a little nickname for Josh, and we were making fun of him at the
I read about that.
banquet. It's kind of talk of the banquet. It was pretty good.
Tell us about Aaron White. He is something special.
Oh, yes.
He's the first freshman since you were here that opened our eyes and said, wow.
Nelson was pretty good last year too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a special kid. He gets it. He's a good teammate and a matchup problem. He's I'll tell you 6'8", and he's versatile. He can handle the ball. He can shoot it. He can dunk it. He can jump. He's athletic. He can run.
He can run.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of your freshman year and the way you both carried yourself as freshmen. I think it's true of a lot of Hawkeye fans. We don't necessarily appreciate a big, demonstrative, showboat, look at me type player. And Aaron really represents, I think, a lot of your personality. And I think he probably gained that from playing with you this year. And I think he's going to be somebody really special. And the other thing, too, he reminds me a lot of Chris Street.
That's
the way
what
he plays.
at the top of the press and everything. That I've heard that. Yeah.
He's built a lot the same. He's got the same skill set offensively, defensively, and he's a monster on the boards when he wants to be.
Who's this? Yeah, he's, I think Waller.
Eric May.
No, the other guy.
Oh,
Zach McCabe.
Zach McCabe.
McCabe.
Sioux City Helo.
Sioux City, that's right.
He's a tough one, isn't he?
Yes, but he's tough. But it seemed like the officials met and they said, this guy plays rough.
Yeah.
And we're going to foul him. And he had fouls on him that weren't fouls.
Yeah. Well, it's good he plays physical, and he's a little undersized for the position he has to
Right.
play, so he's kind of has to make up for it, being a little physical. And I think he's a sophomore. He's learning. He's learning what he can get away with and what he can't. And he hit some big shots for us and plays hard. And I think one of the biggest plays of the year was when he dove on the floor against Michigan. And I think Michigan was making a run on us, and we got it and hit a three.
Yeah, that was going to be a layup for them, and then we hit a 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's a 5-point swing.
Plays like that, aren't in the stat book, but
Right.
they're huge for.
I like the way he plays.
Same
He's
here.
very focused.
That's right.
And how many times did we start a game this year where you're getting double teamed,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, McCabe's got the first 8, 10 points of
Yeah.
the game?
Yeah, that's right. Who was that?
Yeah. Now, here's one we don't know a lot about yet because we haven't seen him play too much. Gabe Olaseni.
Yeah,
Tell us about Gabe.
Gabe.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
Can jump.
And when you're tall, long, and can jump, that's a pretty good combination. He
He
can
can
do all
also run.
that. He can run. I'd almost say he's probably the fastest guy on our team, straight line.
That's what they say.
If he had
Really?
ran. Yeah. And he just got to put it all together now. He's a little raw still, but he's working. He's a guy that works hard and works on his shot, works on his post moves, his footwork. So, things like that come secondary to a lot of people, and he's just kind of, really paying attention to that, and it's going to pay off. I think he'll surprise people. Everybody's talking about Adam coming in next year and the guys we have, but he's a guy we didn't see a lot this year, but he'll have an impact on the team.
These are all really good boys. But Gabe, growing up in London, he's a real gentleman. I mean,
Does he have a British accent?
oh yeah,
Yeah?
oh yeah. He got us a few tickets. We had ticket problems about every game because of relatives.
Bet you
and
did.
everything. And I wrote him. I talked to him one time after a game about some tickets. He said, "I'll be able to accomplish that for you, Mr. Gatens." Mr. Such a gentleman.
That is. That's nice. Wow.
Nice kid.
Well, we've talked about the big games and the big wins, and
I'm almost a Gatens.
you are. Well, you lived
Lived
with
them.
Matt's grandpa.
Yeah,
Right.
Don Joe for about 4 or 5 years.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Was that during high school or college?
My last year in high school and then on for about 4 years.
And then you went to school at Iowa and then
Yeah.
worked at Bremer's. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We've got a lot of viewers.
Really experienced. But I can tell you one story about our Renan. She was she married Earl Riley. So
Don's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. His grandsister.
she had a room right on her. I was right above her, and I have a shoe that weighs about 5 pounds, and I always set my left one down, no noise, and I drop my. and she every once in a while I wouldn't do it. I'd take them off, put them quietly. She always waited for the noise.
She's
Make
probably
sure
worried
you're
about
there.
you.
Yeah, make sure he was in.
They sold the house we lived on. We lived on Webster Street. They sold the house, and Donnie said, "Where are you going?" I said, I don't have a place to go. And he said, well, how about coming over and living with us? And Don Joe, he's always been my friend, and he was a great friend.
So when Dad went to Notre Dame,
Yes,
you stayed at the house. Yeah.
yeah. But he had a lot of his teammates from Notre Dame. They were going to Dubuque, and I don't know what the deal was, but he said, why don't you go to Dubuque? He said, I'm Vince Borella, I think was his name, and George Ratterman, and all the real familiar names, because a lot of them are football players. And you can tell by, a lot of them were in the war, and he came back.
Yeah, they were older.
Yes, and I had really quite a time with Don Joe. I retired from Bremer's, and I went to work for McGregor's just as a greeter. And Don Joe parked the car, and he stayed in the car, and he was quite sick.
Oh, and Mom came in to look at some furniture?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I went out and talked to him for about a half hour, and we had more fun just remembering the old times. And
Probably the last time you talked to him.
what?
Probably the last time you talked to him.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. He told me about that day.
Well, we've got a lot of viewers who not only knew your grandpa, but were friends with him. What are some of the memories that you have of your grandpa Gatens?
It's tough to pick one. I don't know. I just always remember going over to their house and he'd be, sitting in his chair or sitting on their porch and just hang out and talk to him. He's fun.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Matt also got to see him because where we live is where he had his
That's right.
business, so
Yeah.
Matt would see him out on the farm.
It was pretty cool when we got to go to Notre Dame and he got that honorary letterman.
Honorary letterman.
Yeah, he was honored as a letterman.
And Terry and Jim Brennan, Terry Brennan, the All-American football player.
Was his roommate.
Yeah, they came out, and I had an operation on my leg. And
You're right.
And anyhow, they came to visit me at the hospital, and they found out it was Terry and Jim Brennan. And Terry Brennan's name was Magic, and he won all the awards. And
Yeah, he was an All-American football player and then ended up being the head coach at Notre Dame football.
they said they should never got,
yeah.
the Iowa coaches were telling me that he should never gotten let go because he just was starting to
Yeah,
be a really good coach.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Joe, how we doing back there? Okay, we got 10 minutes. Good deal.
That's right.
We've talked a lot about your high school and college career, a lot about your mom and dad and your grandma and grandpa, but two of your biggest fans are your sisters. Both of them scholarship athletes at the University of Iowa, too.
Yeah.
I thought I'd ask you to talk a little bit about your sisters and what they meant to you.
Yeah, they were a lot. They were role models of mine growing up, just because they were athletes and good students and got to play college sports. So it was cool to as a kid grow up and have two in your house, see two people have that success and try to follow it. And they were a couple of my biggest fans and a couple of my biggest critics all the time. They're fun. They're serious. They tell me, if I'm doing good
They
or
keep
doing
him
bad.
centered.
Yeah, they keep me.
I'm just trying to think of some of the criticism that a couple of older sisters might have for their brother.
No, we have fun. They're good, and they even came out to Oregon when they only had a couple days' notice to go out. That meant a lot, and it's pretty cool.
I saw that on Facebook that they were going out there.
Their sisters went too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And his girlfriend, Erin.
Yeah, we need to talk about Aaron,
Erin,
don't we,
she's a good
Murph?
supporter,
Oh,
too.
yes.
Huh?
Aaron's a big fan what am I saying? Murph is a big fan of your girlfriend, Erin. Maybe Aaron's a big fan of Murph, too. I don't know. I haven't met her.
She's a lovely girl.
Oh, she's sure a pretty girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is.
Very, very kind.
Inside and out.
Yes.
Inside and out, that's for sure.
Now, where are your
She
sisters?
was an athlete too, by the way.
Yes.
Erin was?
Oh, yeah.
She played volleyball at Eastern Illinois.
Oh, that's where my sisters went.
Really?
Yeah, both of them.
Charleston.
Yep. Home of Jimmy John's Sandwich Shop. My
Tony-
sisters went to
Tony
school.
Is that where
Tony
it started?
Romo.
Yeah, and Tony
Isn't that
Romo.
Effingham, isn't that right by there? Isn't that
It's
kinda
near
famous?
Effingham.
Kinda, I've heard
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty good
south of
restaurant.
Champaign,
Yeah.
and it's kind of way down there, to tell you the truth. Now, how did you and Aaron meet?
She was from Linmar, so we kind of worked
okay.
with people in
Basketball people.
basketball.
Your sisters
When
are.
are you getting married?
Whoa!
When you get to be his age, you can say blunt things, and nobody holds it against you, I guess.
Wait till Grandma Lou hears that one.
That's supposed to be funny.
Now, wait, let's get back to your sisters for a second. Where are they located?
One's in Chicago and one's she was in the Quad Cities, but I think she's coming back to Iowa City.
Oh, yeah?
Same job, but different
Oh, good.
area.
We think.
That'd be nice for mom and dad, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was close in the Quad Cities, but I'm sure it's cool to be back here, and we'll see.
Now, Aaron played at Eastern Illinois. Soccer, you said?
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Yep.
And what's next with the two of you? Is she going to? Well, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. But what happens when you head off from Iowa City?
We've talked about it. I think she'll come along.
Oh, that's great.
Depending on how wherever I am and how stable of
Yeah.
opportunity wherever I'm at, and if I'm sure I'll be there for a while, and she wants to come along and enjoy it with me.
Now, you've had some former Hawkeyes before
Wow,
you.
Mike.
Like Adam Haluska, for example, or Luke Recker, who've had a crack at the NBA. Have you talked to them about their experiences?
Yeah, those two guys in particular have been great to me. It's two of my role models growing up, and kind of childhood heroes. Luke even had him and his wife had Aaron and I out to dinner once, and
Oh, yeah?
we have a great relationship. It's really cool.
He is a great guy.
Yeah, and Adam too. Both of them, similar boats.
Similar playing styles.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of guys like kind of
About the same height, aren't you? You're a little
Yeah.
taller.
about the same as both of them, and they're similar games, similar positions. So they're two guys, to lean on for information. And I think when it comes to that point where I have to decide about chasing the NBA or maybe going overseas, those are guys I'll be able to talk to and figure out what they went through and what they wish they would have done or wish they did do that they liked. And
Have you talked to Greg Bruner?
I was just going to say that.
Greg too, yeah. Greg's still over there, so he's tougher to talk to.
Oh.
He's still in Italy. But whenever he's back, last summer we worked out. Last couple of summers we work out together all the time, and he might be one of the ones that I'm even more close to, just because I don't know. He's from Charles City, which
Yeah,
is
your hometown.
and we just always kind of clicked, and he's a fun guy.
He's had a heck of a European
He's
career.
done well. Here's a name on the
cow.
pass. Just today, Chad Claver called me.
Really?
Just today.
Chad.
And he was asking about Matt. And his son Dante played 15 years over in Europe.
Really?
And so, if it comes to that, Chad said, you hope for the NBA and you
Yep.
hope that happens. But he said, if Matt goes overseas, I want him to talk to Dante. And so that was awful nice of Chad. He emailed me all of Dante's
Now, he played for
information.
Duke, didn't he?
He won a national championship with Dean Smith at North Carolina.
And
Okay.
Chad, of course, was your teammate.
No,
Older.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yeah.
He used to work at Amana Refrigeration when I was out there.
Close friend of the family's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still with Amana?
No.
He's retired, maybe?
No, he's not retired, but
No.
he's in the appliance business. Yeah.
Well, now, Matt, we had your dad on the show, I don't know, a few months ago, and we were talking about you a little bit, and he said that you have an interest in coaching as a career once playing is done. How did you decide that?
I think just looking at my future and thinking, if basketball wasn't involved in it, it'd probably be a little weird. But I don't know. It's a possibility. I've enjoyed getting to know the coaches we have and seeing their perspective on it. And especially when I was hurt last year, I was more of a coach almost for about a month.
Yeah.
And
Is that right?
kind of, just because I wasn't on the court, I was still training, conditioning and running, but I wasn't able to be with the team. I kind of saw it from a different perspective and sat by the coaches on the bench during the games, the 2 games I missed, and I enjoyed it. It'd be fun, kind of to help kids, help change some lives, and help them out on the court, whether it's high school, college, pro, and.
You thinking college? You don't care? College, high school?
I like college. I've liked it. I think I'd enjoy the recruiting process, but it's tough to get into. It's tough. You got to know people and know have the right timing and things, and have some luck go your way. But it's
Pay some dues?
Yeah, I think I would love the passion and the competition, the fight, and whether it's recruiting or coaching a team, it'd be fun.
How's your thumb?
It's good. Yeah, it's fine.
Which one? Was it a shooting
It was my
hand?
left hand.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
That's what
one.
players have.
Yep. Gamekeeper's, I think they call it a gamekeeper's thumb.
Yeah.
Hurts like heck sometimes for me, but
Arthritis.
So see when I get older if it bothers me.
Yeah.
your scar looks a lot better than mine. I've got big knots from it, but oh well.
Dr. Adams at the university took very
Oh,
good care
boy.
of it.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yes, he is.
So, how many finals do you have?
Just one. And
Isn't that nice?
couple papers, but just one test to study for.
And you're going to go through the graduation ceremony?
Sure.
Tell him about
Yeah,
Don
she wants me
Nelson.
to.
Yeah.
Tell him about Don Nelson.
Oh yeah, Don Nelson. You hear about that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Don's got his degree. He needs to come back and
Unreal.
Yeah.
walk through the ceremony.
I
Yep.
did hear about that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's very cool.
I think he's bringing like 2 or 3 busloads of people in, family and friends.
Isn't that
And they're
something?
going to have
Yeah.
you basketball players meet with him
I
before.
think hopefully, yeah, they'll take a picture with. Hopefully, he can meet with the team. I don't know what they have plan for that, but I think they're going to take a picture with us seniors with him, and
That's really
he'll
special.
probably be in the media guide or something.
I
And
think they gave him your the locker room for him to get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
his
that.
family's got the locker room
That's
before
great.
the ceremony, and then the, yeah.
I hate to tell you guys this, we're out of time. This has been one of our favorite shows of all time.
Oh, thank
It really has.
Thanks very
I think
much.
so.
On behalf of Earl and myself and Bud, Supel, and Bob, we really am sorry that you couldn't fit on the show today, but Bud's got flowers every week for us.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And on behalf of all those guys, on behalf of Hawkeye fans everywhere, we really want to thank you for your commitment to the program, for your commitment to being a Hawkeye through thick and thin. We want to thank your folks, too, for being here with us today. And remind all the viewers that Sports Opinion will be on every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Channel 18. Every Sunday night at 6 p.m. we'll repeat the show. You can also catch it on my Facebook page anytime you like. Thanks for tuning in, and remember this, either you're a Hawk or you're not. Go Hawks.